up, New York Giant fans? Sorry, I was running a little bit late. The computer wasn't charging properly, but I am live now. Was out doing a live fantasy draft today. Otherwise, I would have been on much earlier. I know we're probably not going to get a lot of people in here. It's an impromptu stream, but I wanted to go live. I wanted to talk about the New York Giants roster. They made a ton of decisions today. Thank you to everybody for being here. I do appreciate it, but the New York Giants made a ton of decisions today as they got the roster down from 80 to 53. A couple of surprise cuts. Obviously, the biggest name being Ryan Conley for the New York Giants, which left all Giants fans up in arms. He was a guy that we were all really excited about last year, 5th-round pick out of Wisconsin, had an ACL injury, so I'm not shocked. I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked. I'm not blown away that they decided to move on, particularly when you factor in that they drafted like 6 linebackers in this year's draft. And it's not a Joe Judge guy. It was a Dave Gettleman guy. So I'm not super shocked by it, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully he's back on the practice squad. The New York Giants, they brought in 9 of their 10 rookies. We've got a ton of linebackers now on this roster. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Yo Boy? What's going on, Jesse? Bradley in the chat. Afghanistan in the chat. Luann, Angel Rodriguez. Luann, Yo Boy, thank you guys for being here. Great Woody, Johnny, everybody, thank you guys for being here. I also wanted to talk about some of the surprise cuts around the league. Maybe you guys could give me some insight as well. Like I said, I was out. I know about Rashol Douglas and the other cornerback in the Eagles. It's escaped me right now. I know that there was a couple wide receivers. I talked about one yesterday. There was also the guy that Laquan Treadwell was dropped as well. He's a possibility. There's a number of guys out there that the New York Giants could scour the market for. Obviously, I think we're going to be looking for a wide receiver. We've only got 5 on the roster right now. I mean, I would think they're going to bump that up to 6. We'll see. They got 6 defensive linemen. They got 11 linebackers, and they got 10 DBs. But like I said in my video today, they probably want some versatility on that defense, which is why maybe they went with some extra defensive players. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But what's going on, Irish? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Jesse Bryan, man, thanks for popping in the stream. Austin Mack, he didn't. I'm going to tell you what, man, none of the wide receivers really surprised me. We brought in a bunch of undrafted free agents, and I don't think anybody should be surprised by these undrafted free agents getting cut, to be completely honest with you. They're undrafted free agents for a reason. Javon Leake, same thing. People are up in arms about it, and I'm not saying that I wasn't rooting for a lot of these guys. I was, but they're undrafted free agents, so none of them really surprised me. But I did think they would go with 6 receivers. C.J. Board was a late addition to the New York Giants roster, so maybe I'm a little surprised they went with him. Out of everybody, Alex Bachman was having a terrific camp. I thought they were going to go with 6 receivers, and I didn't think they were going to pick Board. I thought they might go with Johnny Holton because he's a really good special teams player. They didn't decide to do that, but we'll see what the New York Giants decide to do. Like I said, this is not the final 53. It is, but it isn't. Last year, they added like 4 or 5 guys off free agency after the fact, so they still can make a lot of moves. We'll see what they decide to do. Conley probably looked terrible. Well, Conley didn't play. I mean, if you guys remember, Conley didn't play like the first 3 weeks in camp. Yeah, he was barely playing, and then he started playing the last couple of weeks. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And the fact that obviously he wasn't drafted by Joe Judge. Like everybody, I read in my comments, and I get it. Everybody's like, oh, Dave Gettleman doesn't know what he's doing. Dave Gettleman doesn't make those decisions. Joe Judge makes the decisions, or is at least a large reason who makes the decisions and who makes the team. Joe Judge didn't draft Ryan Conley. Joe Judge drafted 5 linebackers in this year's class. Him and Dave Gettleman together collectively. Conley's coming off an injury, and we don't know what Conley looks like off of that injury. He might not be the same player. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. What's going on, Bobby? Thanks for popping in the stream. What do I think of Shaquille Gray? That's the guy with the one hand from the Seattle Seahawks. I have not gotten to see enough about him. He was a really good story when he got picked up by the Seahawks. I think he was an undrafted free agent by Seattle a couple of years ago. I don't know enough about him to be completely honest, but if he can come in here and help cover, absolutely, 100%. I think we need a linebacker right now. If you're looking out there on the open market, I think we could use another wide receiver, and I definitely think we could use another cornerback. I think there's a number of areas we could look. I think Rashol Douglas makes a ton of sense from the Philadelphia Eagles. He's still only 24, 25 years old. He's coming from a division rival. He's not great, but he could at least provide depth at the cornerback position. He's young. He knows the rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, so I think that could make sense to at least consider it. Andrew, man, thanks so much for love. Andrew, man. Andrew with his his infamous hi. Hola to you, Andrew, man. Hope everybody's enjoying your night, man. Thank you guys for popping in. Like I said, I didn't get home till about 20 minutes ago. Figured I'd pop on, go live. Haven't been live in about 5 days. We're going to be doing a lot more New York Giants streams, but I wanted to talk to some of my diehard fans and get to talk about the roster with you guys. Some of the things you like, some of the things that you guys didn't, as we finally know the team that we're going to be going to battle with. And I cannot wait to experience it with you guys this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's going on there, Johnny Boy? Haha, Clinton Dix. I talked about him yesterday. He's not a guy I'm going, crazy about, but he's an experienced safety. I wouldn't be against it. Maybe you play Darnay Holmes on the outside. You play Logan Ryan in the slot. It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen. I talked about it because a number of people asked me to. I honestly don't think it's going to happen with haha Clinton Dix. If they're going to bring in somebody, I'd much prefer it to be an exterior corner or an edge rusher on the defensive side, or possibly, like I said, a middle linebacker. I don't think it'll be haha Clinton Dix, although I do love the name, MH. The name is phenomenal. And I didn't do any research. I should have. I want to know how he got that name. How do you get the name haha Clinton Dix? How does that happen? Who's going to run the back? Who's going to run back kickoffs? What's going on, Jesse, man? Thanks for popping the stream, man. Who's going to run back kickoffs? I mean, right now, I got to think it's Corey Coleman. Corey Coleman did a phenomenal job throughout training camp from everything that you heard. We saw him do great in the scrimmages. Was a great New York Giants kick returner the year that he was here for 8 games. I got to think Corey Coleman's the guy for this football team. I think he's going to be our kick returner going into the year. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. I think it'll be Corey Coleman. And I'll tell you what, man, the way that Corey Coleman has looked in training camp, he might get an opportunity, man. He might get an opportunity in this offense. Don't be surprised. Let's see what we got here. Don't go for Earl Thomas. Don't want bad. We're not getting Earl Thomas. Omkar. I talked about him again. That's another guy. By the way, I had to get some coffee because I was out late tonight. You guys asked me to talk about Earl Thomas as well on Twitter and everything else. I wouldn't be opposed to Earl Thomas, but he just doesn't fit the makeup of this team. The New York Giants are trying to clean up the culture. No doubt about it. The guy's a future Hall of Famer. He's a great football player. Doesn't fit the type of player that the New York Giants want right now with this roster. They just finally instilled their culture. The players are buying in. I don't think Earl Thomas fits. Plus, I think he's a win-now player. I don't think he's going to want to be coming to the New York Giants. Prison Mike, man, thanks so much for the love. Chris, Islanders won. Congratulations. Yes, I watched it at my friend's house while I was doing my fantasy draft. Yeah, congratulations to all the Islander fans out there. I always say I'm a loose hockey fan, but I do root for the Islanders. If I was going to pick a hockey team, being that I'm from Long Island, it's great, man. 4 wins away from the Stanley Cup, and at least New York has one team that's doing well. And so unexpected, right? They lose Tavares. They trade him away. Congratulations to all the real New York Islander fans out there. I know Ben from my Discord has won. Congratulations to all you guys because you guys deserve it. I know as a Met fan, you guys have been going through a ton of hell. So congratulations to all the New York Islander fans out there. Rock and Rob, man. What's going on, man? He says, what's going on, Chris? I haven't been around lately. Kind of been down in the dumps after. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Rock and Rob, I went through that, I don't know, about 6 months ago, man. That's tough stuff, man. But I'm glad that you're here, man. I hope you're doing better. And hopefully you're getting excited for the football season coming up. But I'm sorry to hear that, man. Thank you for being a great supporter, man. And Highlight, man, thanks for love. He says, I heard people talking about signing Demaryius Thomas. I don't like it, but was wondering your thoughts. Demaryius Thomas, he played for the Jets last year. He's tall. He's got to be, 30, 31 at this point in time. He is a tall threat. I don't think he's got much left. He does have connections to Joe Judge. He played for the Patriots the year before. Judge wasn't the wide receiver coach, but he was on the staff the year that Demaryius Thomas was there. I don't know. I don't really see him making much of an impact. I'd put Coleman above him at this point in time in Demaryius Thomas's career. I don't really see the fit, to be completely honest with you. I'd steer clear of Demaryius Thomas. I would much rather go after Butler. Butler's a guy I think the New York Giants should definitely at least kick the tires on. And somebody in my comment said, don't use that phrase anymore. All right. Whatever phrase you want me to use, buddy, if you're watching. But I think he's a guy that I think the New York Giants should take a good, hard, strong look at. He's a former 3rd-round pick or 4th-round pick, whatever he was. He's tall. I know somebody in the comments said before I went live he's a Ramses Barden clone, and that's fair to say. He's a limited wide receiver, but he's tall and he's fast. You can't teach that. He's worth a shot for a 5th or 6th guy on a roster. And Anthony, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it. He says, Tana, I've got the 9th pick in my fantasy draft on Tuesday. Do I go Adams, Jacobs, or Eckler? I'm notorious for first-round busts. Help me. Ooh, okay, I'm assuming it's a PPR league. I'm assuming it's a 1-quarterback league. By the way, I'm going to be doing a fantasy segment this year. I'm actually a big fantasy player. I love playing fantasy football. 9th pick, 1-quarterback league, PPR, if you're considering Eckler, it has to be. It depends on who's off the board, but you got to go running back. You got to go running back, my man. You got to go running back. It's too thin of a position. I'm assuming Michael Thomas will be off the board. You got to go with BPA there. You got to go running back. Thomas will be off the board, probably 7 running backs before you go. If you look past the top 12, 13, 14 running backs, there is a complete fall-off. If I'm you, I might even consider doubling up at the running back position with my first 2 picks. It is incredibly thin once you get past the top 12, 13. I think you got to go running back there, no doubt about it. And I would strongly considering if he falls to you, Edwards, the running back on the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think he will. Depending on your league, though, he's probably worth the flyer. I think he's going to have a big year for Andy Reid. Excited to see Devonte Downs. What's going on, Landon, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What's going on with Devonte Downs? I'll tell you what, man. I said it a couple of weeks ago, and I could be wrong. This is just me assuming from things that I've heard and, from what the players have been saying. I think Devonte Downs stands a really good chance to be the New York Giants starting middle linebacker this year, opposite Martinez. Now, they're not going to run a strict 3-4 defense. They're going to have sub packages for sure. You're going to see Peppers up there. You're going to see a lot of sets where they have multiple DBs. But I think Devonte Downs is going to get playing time for this football team. He was known for coverage in college. You play opposite Martinez. I think it's a really good fit. I could see it. I think it'll work. I don't know how well he's going to play, but I think he's the type of linebacker that we need opposite Martinez. So I think he's going to get an opportunity to play. I really do. Tate Crowder may as well. Tate Crowder really performed well in camp. A guy that the New York Giants definitely think very highly of. I think these rookies and Downs are going to get an opportunity to play. What's going on there, Tristan? Thanks for popping in the stream. Yeah, the Mets got to win today, Paul. I'm going to stream the Mets game tomorrow. I've had a ton of people ask me to do a Mets game. I've just been busy. I will do a Mets game tomorrow. I promise you. Plus the Grom's pitching. So I'll be there for that. I'll be there for that party. We're going to take down the Phillies tomorrow. What's going on, Crispy? Thanks for popping in the stream. I got Henry, Eckler, and Adams in my league. That's pretty good, Ryan. Do I like college football? I like it. I'm not the biggest college fan. I could get into it. I watch the big games. I watch Notre Dame. And I'll watch the prospects that I think the New York Giants could potentially draft when I have an opportunity. I'm not a big college guy. I grew up in New York. New York doesn't really have a good college team. I mean, Rutgers and Jersey, but they're not that good. I'm pretty, I'm a college basketball fan, or at least I used to be, but I'm not a real big college football fan. Stand up, word. What's going on? What's going on, my man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on there, JC? Yo, boy says, so honestly, do you think the Mets will squeak into a playoff spot? Yo, boy, I honestly haven't looked at the standings recently. I know we're 18-22. I think we're about a game and a half, 2 games out, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, they got to go on a run, man. They got to win. They got 20 games left. They got to win 12. They win 12, they got a shot. That gets them to 500. 12-8 over the last 20, the Mets get in. There's my take on that. Should the Giants get yeah, I was just talking about that. Rashol Douglas, and they dropped the other guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they both were like, I looked them up before I went live. They weren't that good last year. Rashol Douglas had like a 55 PFF grade, but he's 24, 25 years old. He was thought to have high upside, former 3rd-round pick. I don't see any problem at least checking him out. I mean, he played for a division rival throughout his entire career. He knows the NFC East in and out. I see no problem looking into Rashol Douglas. None whatsoever. The Giants need a second running back who? I mean, at this point, they're going with what they got. Next year, you may look into it depending on what Wayne Gallman does this year, depending on if Dion Lewis is a part of the future. But this year, you're going with what you got. Dion Lewis, they brought him in on a $1.5 million contract. Gallman's still on a rookie deal. They're going with what they got. And they may very well draft another running back in the future, depending on how Wayne Gallman does this year. I don't think Dion Lewis is going to be a part of the future for the Giants, but hopefully Gallman bounces back to his rookie form, and we get a good year out of him. And maybe the Giants consider bringing him back. But if not, I think the Giants definitely draft a running back in next year's draft. Yeah, Sidney Jones. That was the other one. Sidney Jones at a 64 PFF grade last year. He's only 24. He's definitely a guy I think the Giants should take a look at. I was talking to Gavin, who's in my Discord. He's a big Eagles fan. He was telling me that the Eagles, they kept 6 safeties. They cut Sidney Jones. They cut Rashol Douglas. What are the Eagles doing? They got a ton of injuries. Guys, I try to keep an even keel. I try not to get too optimistic. I try to be conservative. I'm a fan at the end of the day. I'm feeling an Eagle win this year, guys. I'm telling you right now. I think we're going to beat the Eagles this year. I think we're going to get an Eagle win. And maybe I'm being too cocky. Maybe I'm being too overconfident. I think we're going to beat the Birds once this year. I think it's our turn. I think we're going to get them once this year. I think we're going to clip those wings. Packers should trade for Alshon Jeffrey. He's on the block. I don't. Maybe the Packers should. I don't want any part of Alshon Jeffrey. I think he's overpaid. I don't want any part of Alshon Jeffrey on the New York Giants. But the Packers desperately need another threat on the outside. The scrimmage was good, Chris, man. The scrimmage was good. I got to watch some of it. It was cool. A lot of the starters didn't play so much. I'm just ready for real football, man. I'm ready for real football. But I did watch the scrimmage. It was cool. I watched the highlights on YouTube. Will Logan Ryan be able to play? Yes, Logan Ryan's going to be playing week 1. Highlight, man. Thanks so much for that, man. I appreciate it, man. He says, if Daniel Jones gets hurt, what do you do? If Daniel Jones gets hurt, what do you do? Well, the first thing I do is when people always ask me questions like that, I go to the church. I get on my knees. I pray. I pray because the New York Giants are in a ton of trouble. Colt McCoy has 5 career wins and like 25 career starts. So we're not winning many football games if Daniel Jones goes down. Let's not talk about that. Let's not get the bad vibes going. But if you were to ever go down, I mean, you play out the season. You're not going out there and making a trade for a quarterback and giving up future draft assets in a lost season at that point. But that's with a lot of teams. If your quarterback goes down, your season's pretty much done unless you got a really accomplished backup. How are we feeling about our pass protection? Justin, I think the pass protection is going to get a lot better over the course of the year. I think they'll struggle at first. You've got a young offensive line. They're not accustomed to the positions they're playing. But I do think it'll get better over the course of the season. The thing that I think we're shifting to more of a run-first approach. They've shifted to the power scheme. I think a lot of our offensive linemen are better suited to be run blockers. Most offensive linemen prefer to be run blockers. I think we're gonna be a ground and pound team this year. I think the pass protection will struggle a bit at first, and I think that makes sense. You got a rookie left tackle. You got a guy that is a swing tackle throughout his entire career with Fleming, and you got Gates, who's never played center. So I think they'll struggle a bit. They're going against great pass rushers. I think we got to be patient, give it 4 or 5 weeks. But I do think by the second half of the season, this offensive line will be noticeably better than the previous year. Just the Eagles win. What a bitch. We're going to sweep them, Bavit says. That's right, my man. That's right, my man. What's going on, Seaport Tail? Hey, Chris, how much should we sign Butler for? I don't know what the contract would be for. I know I probably got some Eagles people in here. I mean, he was on a rookie deal, third round pick. He wasn't making much. He wouldn't cost a whole hell of a lot. I mean, the guy just got cut. You're getting him for like $1 million, $1.5 million if you brought him in, or any of these cornerbacks out on the open market. But I think, like I said, I think that's a guy we got to definitely take a hard look at. Shaquille Griffin is a 4-3 OLB. We're not bringing him in, I don't think. Let's see what we got here. Wentz is hurt already. We going to sweep them. I don't think Wentz is really hurt, Joel. I could be wrong. I didn't hear anything else today. Like I said, it was busy all day. I don't think Wentz is really hurt. He'll play. But I do think, okay, let's talk about the Eagles real quick. And if there's Eagles fans in here, I'm sorry, guys. I got to tell you how it is. The last 3 years, we should have beat you at least 3 times. At least 3 times. And we coughed away the games. And one of these times, we're going to find a way to close it out. And hopefully, with a more competent coach, with Joe Judge, he doesn't get away from the game plan, and we find a way to at least beat the Eagles once this year. I think we can. I think this is the year we clip the wings. We're clipping those wings this year, Eagles fans. We're getting you once. Hey, Chris, who do you think the Giants will start at left tackle and right tackle? Andrew Thomas is going to start on the left side, Cam Fleming on the right to start the season. I'm almost 100% on that. Matt Parrott will probably be the starting right tackle, though, from everything that you've heard in training camp at some point this year. I'd be shocked if he isn't, because Cam Fleming's not that good. I think Parrott will get an opportunity, but I think Fleming starts the year. Oh, man, Damaged Goods, man. Thanks so much for love. I appreciate it, man. We need another wide receiver, bro, ASAP. We always get hurt. We definitely need another wide receiver. We can't be – when you factor in the wide receiving core that we have, the injury-plagued players like, obviously with Sterling Shepard, Ingram's a tight end, but we've got a ton of injuries, not to mention maybe Golden Tate goes off and gets popped for steroids again. Who knows? The Giants need more than 5 wide receivers. I think we all agree with that. I'm surprised they're going with what they're going. It could be just the strategy if they stick with this specifically for the Steelers. Maybe they feel like they need an extra D tackle against the Steelers, try to stuff the run. Who knows? But long-term, I think they're going to have 6 wide receivers on this team on the roster. Malik, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, 9 days left. Let's go, my guy. Chop cheese on me when we win Monday. Malik, man, I cannot wait. And I'm going to be live all week. We're gonna be talking Giants football all week. I'll have my game preview out on probably Thursday because I'm gonna want to wait until the injury reports come out. Hopefully Thursday I got my preview video up. I'll probably have my weekly picks out on like Wednesday. I'm probably going to have a Talking Giants show someday this week. I'm going to have a subscriber live stream Sunday night. We're going to watch the Cowboys game, and you guys are going to come on via video. We're going to talk with each other. It's going to kind of be a call-in show. Going to have another Giants YouTuber on with me. That'll be a weekly show. We're going to have a lot of Giants stuff this week, no doubt about it. Cannot wait to hopefully celebrate a Giants victory with you guys on this channel Monday night against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, man. Who is still on the bubble to make room for surprise signings? Justin says. What do you mean, who's still on the bubble? We already named the 53. There's no bubble at this point. But, I mean, if they were going to make a move, it depends on the position. I mean, you got 60 D linemen right now. I would think you could cut one there. You got 11 linebackers. You could cut one there. You're not cutting anybody on the offense. You're already at a minimum there with 5 receivers, 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, 9 offensive linemen, 3 tight ends. So you're not making any cuts on the offense. That's your offense going in outside of potentially adding a wide receiver. On the defense, you could either knock down one linebacker, make it from 11 to 10, like I said, or the defensive line from 6 to 5. I think those are the 2 moves you can make if you decide to add somebody on the offense. Highlight, man. Thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it, man. What's going on, Evan Collins? What wide receiver do you think has the most yards this season? Highlight. Great question. And by the way, I was in a keeper league tonight. I got Darius Slayton in the late 14th round, and I see that Darius Slayton is sliding down draft boards in fantasy, and for good reason. From all reports, Sterling Shepard looks like number 1 option, but I think Slayton's going to really take off next year if he doesn't get a big opportunity this year. Right now, from what you're hearing, I think if you're just looking at the receiver position, if he stays healthy, most people are saying Shepard's going to be the guy. In terms of he's looked great with Daniel Jones in camp, looks to be the number 1 wide receiver. However, I think Slayton fits this offense better, and I think Ingram is going to have a big year. Ingram stays healthy. Mark my words. It was in my bold predictions video. I could be completely wrong. I could look like a fool. You guys could call me out for it if I'm wrong. If Evan Ingram plays 16 games this year, bold prediction, he's going to lead all tight ends in receiving yards this year. I believe that with the Jason Garrett-led offense. If he plays 16 games, of course he probably won't. But I think Ingram's going to have a big, big year. I'm calling for him to lead the team in receiving yards if he stays healthy. Codename, man. Thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. Do you think we can bring in Laquan Treadwell or Kevin White? Big guys can get them on a low deal. Yeah, I brought up Laquan Treadwell as the stream started. Former first-round pick, Minnesota Vikings. I think he's 6'2". I remember they were talking about potentially trading him last year for a really cheap deal. I wouldn't be if you want to bring him in and give him a look, why not? The guy's a former first-round pick for a reason. He's got ability, just hasn't panned out in the NFL. He's still probably 24, 25, 26. He's worth a look. Kevin White's just been a complete and utter disaster as well since he's been in the league. Initially drafted, I think, by the Chicago Bears. He's like 6'5", right? You can give him a look. I don't think we're bringing in either one. I would much rather go with the guy I talked about yesterday. Blue Collar, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. He says, stand up. We getting closer. Corey Coleman looking good. 10 touchdowns. You owe me my jersey. Now smash that like button and let's go. If Corey Coleman gets 10 touchdowns this year, Blue Collar, I will gladly give you a jersey. By the way, guys, I'm going to be doing some kind of contest. I haven't decided yet. They're going to be small giveaways, but it's just something to have fun. Every week, I'll probably do like a $10 giveaway, a gift card, whatever. I'm going to be doing a weekly, daily fantasy contest where you guys could join on like DraftKings. I haven't decided yet. We're going to do that week 1, probably after the Thursday game. I'll probably announce it the night of Saturday. I'm going to set up a daily fantasy weekly tournament. The winner will get like a $10 gift card somewhere. I'll figure it out. But just something fun for you guys for the channel. I want to try to do that weekly. So definitely be on the lookout for that. What's going on, Kawachi, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Don't forget that Brandon Brooks is out for the year. Is all that matters the most this year because after this year, they won't be relevant anytime soon. Well, Brooks is out. Also, the guy they drafted last year, I don't know why it's escaped me right now. Dillard, he's out. Peters will probably shift to the left tackle, but the Eagles have a ton of injuries right now. There's no doubt about it. Chris, I'm going to give details on Saturday. How will the team look week 16 as in ready for 2021? Talking Giants is in the chat. What is guys, by the way, if you guys have not subscribed to Talking Giants, please do so. He did a great job. He came on my channel the other day. He's got a great podcast, and he is a big, big fan of Ryan Conley. Listen, man, if you want to come on well, it's late. I'm not going to bother you. I had a lot of fun talking to you the other day, though. But, guys, going over to Talking Giants, check him out. He is a big Ryan Conley fan, And you were the first person I thought of because I remember we were talking about it when Conley got cut. And I knew you were upset, my man. I knew you were upset, man. Chris, what do you think about the Tradabius White contract? I saw it was, in the range of about $80 million. Listen, man, these contracts are getting crazy, but the cornerback position expected to go up. I've done videos on this. Teams are starting to build more around the secondary than the pass rush. The stats point to it. So expect the cornerback to be more valued in future drafts. Expect them to be going even earlier. Expect those guys to get being paid more at a premium than they have in the past. So I'm not that surprised by it. Deshaun Watson got a huge contract extension. I think he got like a $40 million a year extension. And I think that's kind of the market now for the quarterback. You know, when Pat Mahomes got that huge $17.5 million, Brady, there you go. When Pat Mahomes got that huge $50 million extension, everybody was like, well, that's Pat Mahomes. That's not going to be the quarterback market. Well, I think today Deshaun Watson set the quarterback market. It was at 33 a couple of years ago with Wentz. Now it's at 40. Watson got $40 million a year. So guys like Dak next year, any free agent quarterback coming up, those guys are going to want 30. They're going to want $38 to $40 million. The top quarterbacks. The quarterback market's getting out of control, man. Let's see what we got here. Talking Giants and Chris, two good dudes. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Justin's awesome, man. Is Akeem Butler to the job? I think it is realistic. Absolutely. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be realistic. Why wouldn't the New York Giants take a look at Hakeem Butler? I see no reason not to. I think it should be realistic. What's going on, Nick? The way, thanks for popping this stream, man. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram there. Thank you for posting that, Nona. We have Big Ben first game and Mitch second game. We could open up 2-0. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I'm getting excited. I'm going to tell you what, guys. If we ever win that Steelers game, I'm going to go into that Chicago Bears game thinking it's very realistic we could start 2-0. But it ain't going to be easy beating the Steelers. The Steelers that might have the best defense in all of football. They got a really good defense. Only chance we got to be able to run the ball against them. I'll talk about it in my preview video. I'm sure I'll go into, advanced statistics and look into it. But breaking that game down short and sweet, they've got premium edge rushers. They've got a team that wants to grind it out. The New York Giants, if they drop back to pass 40 times, they're going to lose that football game. Period. End of story. They've got a great, versatile guy in the secondary there with Minkah Fitzpatrick. We've got to run the football. Saquon Barkley has got to run the football 25-plus times in that game. We've got to get Barkley involved in the passing game. That game's all about Saquon Barkley. Offense has to revolve around Saquon Barkley against the Pittsburgh Steelers if we want any chance to win that football game. Period. End of story. Giants fan since 1987. What's going on there? Great. What's going on, Waterfly, man? Thanks for popping the stream, man. I think we play against Trubisky. We definitely have a chance. Oh, yeah. Trubisky sucks. He's garbage. I'm surprised they didn't go with Foles. I said that on Twitter. Nick Foles, at least he's an accomplished quarterback. He fits the scheme they're running over there. That was the scheme they ran it with the Philadelphia Eagles. I am shocked that they went with Trubisky. Now, I know Trubisky has more upside, but, you brought in Nick Foles. You're paying Nick Foles. You got like a $20 million contract last year per season. I thought they'd go with Foles, but I guess he didn't perform well at camp. Yeah, pretty shocked Conley didn't make it. Did he get hurt again? Abe, I don't think he got hurt again, but he was kind of he wasn't 100% throughout camp. He was sitting out a lot. You heard that a lot during the reports. So I'm not shocked by this. I'm surprised. Like I said in my video today, I'm not shocked by it. I always thought in the back of my head that it was a possibility, not a probability. But when you factor in all the linebackers that we drafted, you factored in that he was coming off an injury. We don't know how he was going to respond to the injury. He may not be the same player, and he has no connections to Joe Judge. So I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see Conley make this team, but I could see the reasoning behind it. Let's put it that way. Isles advanced. That's right, Meat, man. Congratulations, man. I faced Saquon in fantasy week 1. What should I do? Bavit, you should hide under your bed and go to bed because you're not winning week 1. You already lost. If you're going up against Saquon Barkley in fantasy week 1, you lost. I don't care that they're going against the Steelers. Saquon's the man. Fix the O-line, man. Thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. He says, I guessed wrong. I don't know what you meant by that, Joseph Santiago. What did I guess wrong? I guess wrong a lot. I've got opinions. I say that all the time. I'm wrong a lot. Fix the O-line, man. He says, any good guys like you on YouTube with a Steelers show that you could pair up with before the game? There's a couple of guys I've thought about. I don't know any of them. I don't talk to Steelers guys. I talk mainly with the NFC East guys for the most part, the Eagles, the Redskins, the Cowboys. There are a couple of guys that I've seen. Adonis, is that his name? He's got a big channel, but I've seen him do some Steeler videos before. I may reach out to him to do like a giant Steelers stream. I think that's his name, something Adonis. But I want to try to do that weekly if I can. Get that week's opponents on the channel, whether it be for an edited video or a live stream to answer questions. I think that's his name. I got to look into him, but he's very popular on YouTube. Who would you start to look into for waiver pickups? What's going on there, Moose? What's going on, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Who would I start to look into for waiver pickups? I talked about it earlier. I think you're looking at Rashol Douglas. The two guys that the Eagles dropped, I think you got to look at. Akeem Butler, I think you should definitely look at. He's a tall wide receiver, former fourth-round pick. He's still 22, 23 years old. There's no reason not to at least look at these guys. Chiseled Adonis. Yeah, I'm going to look into him. I'm going to ask him, see if he wants to come on the channel. Caden Smith will be the starter since Ingram will get hurt again. Elvis, I don't like that negativity, but I kind of can't disagree with you. It's why when I drafted Evan Ingram, I made sure to get Caden Smith in the last round to get that tight end handcuff. So I don't really disagree with you there. But I hope you're wrong. What is going on there, Jeff Billings? Fabian says, is Judge more defense or offense oriented? Fabian, that's what I like about Joe Judge. He's really not either. And that's been what the Giants have had with basically the last two coaches they brought in. That was an easy answer. Offensive oriented. McAdoo was a quarterback guy. Obviously, the same can be said for Pat Shurmur. That's not the case with Judge. Judge is a special teams coordinator. He's got experience on both sides of the ball. He was a wide receivers coach, so I guess you could argue, slightly offensive minded, but he's a guy that's coached on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. I just think he's a football coach. He's not a specialty guy, and that's what I like about him. I don't really view him as an offensive or defensive guy. He's a guy that's going to bring in guys that are offensive guys to coach his offensive players and guys that are defensive guys to coach his defensive players, and he's going to let them do the job, and he's going to oversee it. Where should I draft Ingram? Depends on the league. One quarterback league, maybe the 7th, 8th round, maybe. But if I was a YouTuber, I could have joined you. Oh, that's right. You're a Steelers fan. That's right. Would you do a stream with EDP 445? Yeah, but he's got like 3 billion subscribers. I don't think EDP 445 is going to waste his time with me. He's got like a trillion subscribers. Thoughts on? Yeah, a lot of people have asked me that about Ryan Conley getting cut. I mean, I'm not shocked by it. I know everybody was. I'm surprised, but I'm not going crazy. When I went to Twitter, I saw everybody going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." In my head, I'm like, yes, I like Ryan Conley. I know he's a fan favorite. He played 3 games here. He started 3 games with or 4 games. He got hurt. He had an ACL injury. He was a 5th-round pick. He has no connections to our head coach. We drafted 6 linebackers. He's a guy I really like. I was hoping he made the team, but I always knew in the back of my head that it was at least possible he wasn't going to make it. I thought he was going to, but I'm not going to go crazy about it. I'm going to hope that these other guys that they're going to give an opportunity step up. Tate Crowder, a lot of people have said really good things about him. Hopefully he gets an opportunity. Devonte Downs, hopefully he stands out. And, of course, we have Martinez and Mayo. Saquon, what's going on there, Saquon, man? Thanks for popping the street. This is coffee. I had a couple of beers tonight, though, Jose. Is Clowney confirmed yet? I have not heard. I was out all night tonight. I didn't hear. Ryan might be on the practice squad. I think he will be, Austin, if I had to guess. Grant Haley was pretty deep. Well, Grant Haley, all right, here's the thing with Grant Haley. And, when I heard that Grant Haley was cut, Yvonne, I think that was Yvonne, yeah. Yvonne, when I heard that Grant Haley was cut, I was like, all right, he's a name. He was friends with Saquon. He's from Penn State, undrafted free agent. He was good his rookie year. But last year, Yvonne, and you know it as well as I do, especially if you watch my streams, I wanted to rip the guy's head off. The guy couldn't cover to save his life. He was 5 yards behind the receiver every time. Great tackler. Might be one of the better tacklers on this defense, but the guy can't cover. And when you play the slot position in today's NFL, you have to be able to cover. So I'm not that shocked that we cut Grant Haley. I'm really not, especially when you brought in Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan plays the same position. You got Darnay Holmes. He was kind of expendable. Once we brought in Ryan, he was kind of expendable. Abe, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it. He says, can Beal be cut since he opted out? Well, Beal's not going to work against the roster. So there's no, technically, I suppose he's off the roster right now. He opted out. So, yeah. So he doesn't penalize the New York Giants. It's not like he goes against the 53-man roster. So, yeah. I guess technically you can look at it like he's cut. Let's see what we got here. What do you think about Barkley and Shepard considering I'm not going to get into that, Fabian. I'll wait until such time it happens. I know it's political. I don't like to divide people on this channel. I like to talk sports. I don't think they will do that, but if they do, we'll figure it out as we go. Obviously, I'm not rooting for that to happen. This is a terrible first game for the O-line and DJ. Well, Sports Influencer, it is a terrible game in terms of who we're going up against, but it's a great test. It's a great test. I mean, I'm glad we're playing the Steelers week 1, okay? Because now we're gonna see where we are. We're not going against the best of the best, but we're going against a good football team. We're going up against a team going into the season. A lot of people think they're going to be an 8-win, 9-win, 10-win team. We're going to see where we stand. We're not going up against the Redskins. We're not going up against the Bengals, but we're not going up against the Ravens either. I like the level of opponent we're going up against week 1. And if we ever beat the Steelers or we play tough against the Steelers, you say to yourself, okay, we got something going here. So I'm looking forward to it, man. What's going on, MMKG? I have Pro Bowl feelings for Darnell. Not this year, Justin. Not this year. Justin, put those feelings to bed. Put those feelings to bed. Okay, Justin? Let's not set expectations way too high for our players, please. And I love Darnay Holmes. He's one of my favorite players on this roster. But put the pajamas on those thoughts, put them to bed. Darnay Holmes ain't going to no Pro Bowls this year. Not this year, hopefully in the future. But let's relax on the Pro Bowl expectations for a fourth-round draft pick. Do I watch WWE? No. Raphael says, hey, Chris, should I make a trade that I will lose Cook, DJ Moore, and Hooper for Saquon? No. Oh, for Saquon? Yes. You're getting Saquon. Any trade you're getting Saquon, do it immediately. Rob Pro, man, thanks, Philip, man. I really appreciate it. He says, will Conley come back? I think Conley, Nick, man, thanks so much for the cannolis, man. I appreciate it. I think Conley, I hope, is going to be back. Another team may very well pick him up, depending on the severity of his injury. So we'll see. I would hope and think that the New York Giants would bring him back on the practice squad if he's not claimed tomorrow. But based on last year's film, if teams see it and they bring him in for a physical and he proves to be healthy, there's a good chance he gets picked up. We'll see. But yeah, I would hope that they bring him back on the practice squad. Hey, Chris, should I make a trade that I already answered that? Saquon got to go off. That's Saquon. That's our only chance, week 1. What are my thoughts on CJ Board? I am not buzzed. I got coffee. I got adrenaline. I get excited when I talk to you guys, believe it or not. I get very excited when I get to talk to you guys. My thoughts on CJ Board. I mean, the guy's been in the league for 1 year. I think he's 26, unless I'm confusing him with somebody else, maybe 27. He's been around he's only played 1 year in the league. I think he played for the Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know much about him. But apparently did great at training camp. So, I mean, he impressed enough to make the roster. Do I think he's going to be catching audibles? No. And like I said, I'm not going to be shocked at all if the New York Giants go out there and add a guy like Hakeem Butler to the receivers that we already have on this roster. Is Baker cut? Baker's gone. Baker's gone. Yeah, Eddie, I'm going to do the Met game tomorrow, man. I'm going to do the Met game tomorrow. A lot of people have been asking me. Just been busy. So, but yeah, I'm going to do the Met game tomorrow. Raphael says, thanks, Chris. Love your channel. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being here, buddy. Saquon is going to have another 2,000-yard scrimmage. No doubt about it. If he plays all 16 games, Saquon Barkley is going to lead the NFL in scrimmage yards this year. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Jimmy says, is Matt Peart starting? First off, Jimmy, man, thank you for the love. Thank you for being here. I hope Matt Peart is starting. At some point this year, I don't think he's going to start to open up the season, but I do want to see Peart get an opportunity. I don't think Fleming's the long-term answer, and when Peart's ready, I think he's going to get an opportunity. But I think to open the year, they're not going to go into the season starting 2 rookie tackles. I never thought that was going to be the case. Regardless of all the positive things we heard about Matt Peart, I'm standing by the fact that I think that they will go with the more experienced tackle to start the year. But I do think Peart will get an opportunity at some point this season. Nick DeWick, man, thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. Thoughts on the Giants cutting Slayton? Well, they didn't cut Darius Slayton. They didn't cut Darius Slayton. They cut the Slayton that I expected they would cut. If they cut Darius Slayton, you would see me flipping out. So no, they didn't cut Darius Slayton. They didn't cut Darius Slayton. They cut Chris Slayton, the guy they drafted last year in the 7th round. I'm not surprised by that. Darius Slayton, of course, I'd be flipping out. Angel, man, thanks so much for the love. I appreciate it. He says, hey, Chris, who do you think will start at center? Angel to be. I think it's Nick Gates. I think it's Gates' job to lose at this point. From everything that you read, I think he won it. I think he won it in training camp. Maybe Jalapeno scared some people a little bit, but he didn't even make the team. Spencer Pulley sucks. I thought it would be Pulley because he had experience playing the position. Nick Gates had never played it before. Neither had Shane Lemieux when he was a rookie. But I think it's going to be Gates, man. And he's going to be one of my favorite players to watch this year. He really is. I was talking to Talking Giants on the channel the other day, and he was telling me, he said, listen, man, he's a grinder. He's a smart football player. He's going to step in. He's going to get the job done. He's tall for a center. He's 6'6", but the guy's done a great job wherever he's gotten an opportunity before, and I'm looking forward to Gates. I think he's going to be the starting center this year. I think he's going to do a good job. What's going on, Yuri, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What's going on there? John, thanks for popping in, man. Sorry, that was supposed to be period, not a question mark on my last question. Don't worry about it, Joey, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. What's up, Yuri? What's your predictions for the practice squad? Lance, that's a really good question. Okay, I still think maybe one, if not two of the guys that are currently on the 53 are going to be on the practice squad. I still think they're going to make a couple of moves tomorrow. But based off the guys that are already cut, I mean, I think at least 3, if not 4 of those receivers are going to be on the practice squad. I do. I think, and I'd have to look at the list. But I think definitely a lot of those receivers are going to be on the practice squad. I think you'll have Cooper Rush on the practice squad. I'm trying to think of some of the defensive players that got cut. I mean, they all made it for the most part. All the linebackers made it. If Conley comes back, hopefully he's on the practice squad. We'll have to wait and see how the roster plays out over the next couple of days. Rob, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it. He says, what do you think about Devonte Downs? Listen, man, Devonte Downs is a guy that he's one of those guys that you kept hearing about throughout training camp. Him and Bachman. You heard about him every day in the reports. Devonte Downs is doing this. Devonte Downs is doing that. He's good in coverage. You know, he was known for being good in coverage when he came up. I don't know a lot about him. I think he's either undrafted or I think he's a 7th round pick from the Minnesota Vikings. Was known to be good in coverage in college. Hopefully he gets the job done, man. I think he's going to get the start, or at least I think he's going to be out there in certain packages. So I'm looking forward to seeing Devonte Downs on Monday night, man. I think he's going to be playing football for us. And by all accounts, he played well in camp. I'm glad he got an opportunity. What's going on there, Pumpkin? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Ray W in the chat. What's going on, Ray, man? Thanks for being here, man. We should have cut Ballantyne. Why? I saw a lot of people say that on Twitter. Why? I don't understand that. And trust me, Ballantyne was not good last year. But why would you cut Ballantyne? We're thin at that position as is. We don't have many exterior corners. I don't understand why people thought we should have cut Ballantyne. Plus, he could help in special teams. He's athletic. And maybe he improves his game and gets better. But I don't mind him as a backup. I don't want him starting. I don't think he's a starting caliber corner. But I think he belongs on the roster. I do. Let's see what we got here. What's going on there, Serge? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Who is second man up? Chris Pulley. Pulley's the second man up. Pulley's definitely the back, in my opinion, is the backup center right now. An underrated thing that I'm going to be looking at this season is time management and how judgment. Chris Gonzalez, 1,000%. It's something I complain about every single week with Pat Shurmur. Think back to Pat Shurmur last year, and I tried to be fair with Pat. I defended him probably more so than anybody else on YouTube because I don't like change. I wanted to root for Pat. I thought he was a good guy, nice guy. He was bad. And the way that he handled timeouts at the end of games was atrocious. The way that he handled in-game decision-making. You had, I think there was a 4th and 2 late in the game against the Patriots. He didn't go for it. Then he went for it on a 4th and 15. Pat Shurmur, his handling of the timeouts was awful. I was at the Jet game where he blew all 3 timeouts before the 2:50 mark. He was really bad at that. And I've continuously said in that aspect of the game, just knowing Joe Judge and how meticulous he is and how everything is so well thought out, I think Joe Judge is going to be so much better in that aspect of the game. And I'm definitely going to be looking at that on Monday night. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Tana, do you think maybe I can have a shout-out? I just made a sports channel. Moose, of course, man. Moose been with me forever. Go over there and check out his sports channel. Absolutely. Big Giant fan. Thank you for being here, Moose, man. I didn't know you started a sports channel. Absolutely, man. Is Bobby in the up? Hold on. Bobby Woodruff is in the chat, guys. I'm sorry. Got to stop what we're doing right now. Everybody in the chat, just give me a hi, Bobby, in the chat. Say hello to Bobby. Bobo, thanks for popping in the stream, Bobby. Do me a favor, say hello to Bobby. The judge is back in town. That's right, Daquan. Oh, man, Kevin Watkins, man. Thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that. Who is the cornerback 2? It might be Ballantyne. It might be I would lean I don't know why the names escape me right now. The guy that we just traded for. The names escape me right now. The guy we literally just traded the 7th-round pick for from the Denver Broncos. He might be the starter. I think it's between him and Valentine. Other people have suggested that we could put Darnay Holmes on the outside, play Logan Ryan in the slot. It'll be interesting. They did play Darnay Holmes on the outside. If you remember, and thank you for saying hi to Bobby. If you remember the highlights from the practice, he was playing on the outside guarding Darius Slayton in the end zone. So I don't know if it'll be the starting outside corner to start the year, but maybe Darnay Holmes will get an opportunity on the outside. Who knows? You know, we don't really have an established guy right now, but if I had to pick one, yeah, there it is, Isaac Yiadom. I would go with him as the favorite right now, especially being that we gave up draft capital to bring him in. He's been a starter in the league before. I'd say he's the favorite, but Valentine is definitely in the race. Isaac Yiadom, yeah, there you go. Let's see what we got here. You could give Shermer one of the more talented group of guys, and they'd probably end up average. Shermer wasn't good. What's going on there, Big Bang, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Do you think we have any other Pro Bowlers other than Saquon? Yeah, I think we could. I mean, I'm not gonna say we have definitive Pro Bowlers going in. I'm not gonna say anybody. I mean, I guess Zeitler has a possibility. Maybe Hernandez is a possibility. I'm not gonna put those expectations on Thomas going into the year. On the defense, yeah, I think there's one guy maybe that could make it. Going in, is anybody a Pro Bowler? No. Would I be shocked if Dexter Lawrence makes it? No. Would I be shocked if Jabril Peppers makes it? No. I think there's a couple of guys that could definitely reach their ceiling on the defensive side this year. Maybe we'll have 2 or 3 Pro Bowlers. Maybe I'll have a guy on special teams. But, yeah, we'll see. Sacred Dust, man, thanks for letting me in. I appreciate it, man. And, yeah, Logan Ryan as well. He says, pick 2 more wide receivers from anywhere, in or out of the NFL. Oh, wow. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Butler, man. Butler's the guy right now that I'm interested in. I've harped on it all offseason. The New York Giants need a guy that's young. The New York Giants need a guy that's tall. Well, he's both of those. He's 6'6". He's a 4th-round pick. He was drafted ahead of Slayton. He's a guy that a lot of Giants fans, I remember last year, were interested in. I would kick the tires. I would look at him. Laquan Treadwell's another guy that it's at least worth looking at. I'm not bringing in any headaches. I'm not bringing in guys that aren't in the league right now, like Antonio Brown. I'm not bringing those guys in. I'm bringing in a guy that was maybe just cut, that you could get on a cheap deal, something like that. Yeah, maybe Josh Gordon, but I know it's not going to happen. He's got connections to Judge. They've lessened the drug policy. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think he's a guy that just does harm to himself and hopefully cleaned up his act, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see that happening. I think Butler's the guy right now. If the Giants are going to bring in a wide receiver, I think that's the guy you look at. Butler equals, I'm not going to go that far, Yuri, but he's tall, he's fast, he's worth a look. No, I'm not making him out to be Harold Carmichael, but I think he's worth looking at. He's a 5th receiver. He's a 5th receiver, but he's worth looking at. He's got height. You could use him in the red zone. What's going on there, Benjamin, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Sanu, if he's willing to come here on a – the thing with Sanu, why I don't think it matches up is that's a guy that has credentials. That's a guy that's been an established receiver in the NFL before. I think he's going to want an opportunity to play. I think he's going to want an opportunity to start. And if he comes to the New York Giants right now, he's not going to be a starter. So I just don't view Sanu as a good fit with the Giants. Oh, my bad. I forgot about that. Gordon did sign back with Seattle. I'm excited. Why not Antonio Brown? He's culture friendly. He's culture friendly if you work in an insane asylum. He's great for that culture. He's not great for a football team. Let's see what we got here. Should we try to get Lamar Jackson, cornerback that the Jets just cut? JP, listen, I'd look at any cornerbacks right now. Like I said, the 2 guys from the Eagles, I would look at cornerbacks. I mean, if you could bring in a cornerback, why not? It's a huge hole for this team right now. The more, the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. Look at it. Look at whoever you can. Scour the free agency market, man. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, and we're not bringing in Antonio Brown, man. Let's see what we got here. I'm jumping out my boots. I'm so Deshaun, man. I can't wait for football, man. We're almost here. New York Giants' first game is going to be Monday. I mean, we're guys. We are literally 9 days away. Well, now it's almost midnight. But by the time it hits midnight, we're going to be 8 days away from our first football game as Giants fans. And the NFL season starts on Thursday. It came out of nowhere. We're here, guys. The NFL season is here. Be excited about that. Chizola, man, what's going on, my man? Thanks for popping in the stream. He says, Ryan Conley needs to be put on this. I agree. If he doesn't get picked up, you got to bring him back. You got to put him on the practice squad. There's no reason not to. So I completely agree with that. How about Josh Rosen? Okay, here's the thing with Josh Rosen. I heard a lot of people ask me about Josh Rosen in my Discord. Do you think he makes sense for the New York Giants? Could you see the Giants going out, picking up Josh Rosen? Here's the thing, man. You've got a young quarterback, Daniel Jones, learning a new system. He's his second year in the league. He plays for New York. What did the Jets do when they had Mark Sanchez that I always talk about that was a huge mistake in my opinion? And Mark Sanchez wasn't very good, but they had a guy that was supposedly going to be a franchise quarterback. You drafted him early. Then you go out there, you start screwing with his head. You bring in Michael Vick. You bring in Tim Tebow. If I'm the Giants, I'm not bringing in Josh Rosen because I'm going to tell you why. If Daniel Jones goes out there and struggles his first 4 games because he's learning a new scheme, he's going against good defenses, there's going to be a portion of the fan base that says, oh, we got to bring in Josh Rosen. We got to see what we got with Josh Rosen before next year's draft. No, you committed to Daniel Jones. You spent the 6th pick. You got to find out what you got with Daniel Jones. Don't start messing around with his head. Don't start bringing in other guys that are still trying to become starters in the NFL. You have a backup. You got Colt McCoy. Don't mess around bringing in a guy like Josh Rosen. There's no reason to do it right now. Sports Expert, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it. He says, Shock, Dylan, John Mack, and Victor were all cut. I'm surprised myself. Sports Expert, man, thank you so much for love, man. I'm surprised myself, to be honest with you. I thought at least one of them would make it, along with Bachman. I don't even think you mentioned him. He wasn't as big of a name, but he had a really good camp. But, yeah, they only went with 5 receivers. I'm surprised. I thought one of them would definitely make it out of those 4 that you mentioned, if not 2. But it's not the route that the New York Giants went. They went with C.J. Board. They went with 5 wide receivers, and they may go out there and bring in another wide receiver. See, that's exactly why we don't do it, guys. That's exactly why we don't do it. You see Elijah Cole right there, and I don't know if he's a Giants fan, and I'm not picking on Elijah Cole, but there's going to be a portion of the fan base. He may be a Giant fan, he may not be, but he wrote Rosen better than Jones. People like that are going to call for Daniel Jones to be benched the second he fumbles a football. There is no reason to put that extra pressure on Daniel Jones. There's none whatsoever. He's got enough pressure that he had to learn a completely new system in a shortened offseason, in a new offense, with everything that's going on with a new head coach. We don't need to be bringing in guys like Josh Rosen, who was the 10th overall pick, who a lot of people thought we should have taken with the 2nd overall selection. There's no reason for it. Stay away from it. Stay the hell away from Josh Rosen. Let's see what we got here. A lot of positive stuff about Colt McCoy during camp. Don't think he's got exactly real New York Giants Mafia, 100%. What's going on you here, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got here. Entertainer, you should do weekly productions for every week. I am going to do that, Chris Gonzalez. I'm going to do that. Let's see what we got here. 11 linebackers seem excessive. They do, but we run a scheme where I think we need an extra linebacker or 2. You know, when you look at Patrick Graham's defense last year, they had sets where they had 6 linebackers on the field at once. They're going to throw a lot of different looks at you. I think they want versatility, so I understand it. What's going on there, Danny, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Daniel Jones will have 35 TDs this year. You can bank on that. Listen, man, I just want to win football games. I don't care what his stats are. I want him to improve. Colt is more than a competent backup. This is the year of Jones. Everyone, fans and team will be looking at him to make a leap. If he doesn't, it'll signal some trouble. He has to cut. Of course, MD, 100%. I'm not giving Jones a pass this year, believe me. I'm going to be fair to him. I'm not going to jump down his throat at the beginning of the year with all the factors I've talked about, but I'm not going to give him a pass. He's got to improve on the things that we all know he needs to improve on, and I'm confident that he will. But, yeah, he's got to improve there, and it's a big year for Daniel Jones this year. There's no doubt about it. And we'll see. We'll see if he does. I think he will, but I'm not going to give him a free pass, that's for sure. Dana, Mets finally beat the – yes, they did, Simon. They got a big game coming up tomorrow with Jacob deGrom. Chris, where do you see Rosen going? Where do I see Rosen going? I mean, I think there's a number of fits. I mentioned it on Twitter today. I think the Steelers make sense with Ben about to retire. I think the Colts make sense with Rivers about to retire. And I think the Patriots make sense. The Patriots wanted Josh Rosen. There were reports about it. Cam Newton, I think, is a short-term solution. I think all 3 of those teams make sense for Josh Rosen. But AP as a backup, nah, I don't see it. I don't think I mean, I'm never going to say no to AP, but no, I don't think the Giants are going to bring an AP. I'd be surprised. I don't see it. Let's see what we got here. Chris, keep in mind, Jones is not a Joe Judge draft pick. That's true, Mike Lowe. This is true. But Joe Judge seems to like him. And of course, he's got to do that as the coach, but we're not bringing in we better not bring in Josh Rosen. That'd be a mistake as far as I'm concerned. Tana, what's your favorite fry? Fabian always asks me food questions. Checkers, if we're talking fast food. I love Checkers fries. If anybody's ever been to Checkers, the fries are phenomenal. Love the waffle fries as well. Chris, you feeling as good as I am about Lorenzo Carter? Patrick, I am a big Carter guy this year, and a lot of people have basically said, Chris, you're out of your mind. He sucks. He's done. And listen, man, like I said earlier, somebody said, maybe they weren't even talking to me. They might have been talking to somebody else in the chat, but I'm going to be wrong just as much as you are. The people in the chat right now, they may not admit when they're wrong. Everybody's wrong. If you stick your neck out on the line and give an opinion, you're going to be wrong half the time, or at least a good portion of the time. So I am a believer in Lorenzo Carter this year. I've been a believer in him now for 3 months. I think Lorenzo Carter fits this scheme. I think Giants fans jumped off the ship last year when they went in with higher expectations probably than they should have. And I think he's going to play well. I think Lorenzo Carter is going to play well. I think he's going to be versatile in this defense. He's one of the guys I'm most looking forward to. I'm a big Lorenzo Carter fan this year. I'd like to see Slayton return, I'd like to see Slayton return or the fit. Well, Slayton's on the team, Ryan. Slayton's on the team, man. Let's see what we got here. I love Checkers fries are phenomenal, man. What's going on there, Joey Lutz? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. I just hope our wide receivers could just stay healthy this season. Euphoric, you and me both. We had a ton of injuries and suspensions last year before the year started. I think what we had, so far so good. We've stayed healthy. Last year we were already banged up before the season started. So hopefully it keeps up that way, man. Hey, Chris, if Cam Fleming struggles, what's going on, Brandon, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. As a Bears fan, I thought Kevin White would be great. Then he turned out, made a glad. Yeah, he was a bust, man. Hey, Chris, if Cam Fleming struggles, should they move Nick Gates to right tackle and start Lemieux at center? Rafael, I'm going to be honest with you. No, I don't want to see that because you've spent this entire offseason playing Nick Gates at center. You don't want to screw with this guy's head. You've moved him around enough the first 2 years. He's now gotten to the point where you're confident enough for him to be the starter. I don't want to then shift him to the tackle. Let him learn the position. Hope he's the center of the future. If Cam Fleming sucks, Matt Parrott, you're next up, my man. You get an opportunity. I would keep Nick Gates at the center position, 100%. Unless he's playing poorly, but we're hoping he's not. What's going on there, January, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What time you call? Assassin, we'll probably go to about 12:15. I wanted to just go on, talk to you guys for a bit, being that today was a big day, and I kind of want to just get hyped up for the season. I'm going to be alive a lot this week talking Giants football, alive a lot the next 17 weeks talking Giants football. So I appreciate all you guys for being here. Anybody that may be new, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. Coming to New York, Ryan says, I don't think so. We'll see, though. But Ana, how can the Giants improve on third down defense? They have given up too many third and long. Well, Sean, the first thing that I hope is improved is the defensive play calling. Last year on third and long, countless times, if you watched our streams, it would be 3rd and 12, and they'd be 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. They'd be in a zone defense. They'd be playing off. They wouldn't be aggressive in terms of coverage. That alone, I think the play calling hopefully is better. That should help in that aspect. Obviously, what's going to help the most is better coverage. So hopefully the guys we brought in, like Darnay Holmes, who's ever starting at the other linebacker position, whether it's Devonte Downs, whoever, I still think we're going to struggle in that area. I think tight ends are going to carve us up. I still don't think we have a great coverage linebacker. I think we'll definitely be a better team in coverage. I'm hoping anyway. Logan Ryan, I thought, was a really good addition. We'll see. Obviously, James Bradbury was our number one free agent acquisition, so we brought in 2 accomplished players in the secondary, but we do have some injuries. Obviously, McKinney being out, DeAndre Baker, everything that's going on with him. I think the secondary will be better. I still don't know how good it's going to be, but I want to see a more aggressive defense, that's for sure. Yes, Elvis, I do live Giants games. What's going on there, Card Coach, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Is McKinney ceiling Minkah Fitzpatrick, or is he more? I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you, Jake. I don't know if his ceiling as high as either one of those 2 players. And I like McKinney. I think he's very versatile, much like those 2 players. But both of those guys were freak athletes. Minkah Fitzpatrick was a freak. So was the Honey Badger. McKinney's a good athlete. He's not on that level. He's a really smart player. He's a hardworking player. I think he's going to be a very good football player. I could see the similarities, but, I mean, those guys are, I don't know if he's on that level in terms of talent. I hope he is, but What's going on there, New York Mets, New York Giants? Joe Daddy says Drew Lock and Josh Allen would have been draft picks. That I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking to somebody in the chat. Shepard is a concussion away from retirement. Can he last the season? Connor, I don't know if he can. I worry about him. I worry about him. I worry about Evan Ingram. I talked about that last year. There were talks about his, I think it was his wife was asking him to retire because of all the concussions. And, it's no joke, man. You get as many concussions as he's had in the NFL throughout high school, college, everything else from all the reports that you've read. I don't blame his wife for feeling that way. So hopefully he's okay. But, yeah, it's definitely something you got to worry about, man. And Danny says, my team is full. I know it is, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm going to be honest with you, Danny. I got no love lost there. You're a great subscriber of mine. You're always popping in my streams. I got no love lost for the Philadelphia Eagles. If there's one team I hate the most in the NFL, it's yours. I love you. You're always in my streams. But we're going to clip those wings this year, buddy. We're clipping those Eagles' wings this year. We're getting a win. Let's see what we got here. Like Shepard, 8 is a wide receiver 1. I think we got 3 wide receivers 2s. I don't think we got a 1 yet, but I think Shepard is gonna be the one going into the year in terms of targets, at least from what I've read. Let's see what we got here. Giants had more hog mollies than the NFC. Yeah, Dom, a lot of Giants fans are gonna miss Ryan Conley, man. Entertainer, would you rather have Sexy Dexy and Jones or Josh Allen and Haskins? Oh man, right now I'm going with Sexy Dexy and Jones. I don't believe in Haskins right now. Haskins hasn't been a good quarterback yet. Right now I'm going with Daniel Jones. Let's see what we got here. With the new playoff format, do you think we could possibly squeeze it to the playoffs? Listen, I'm not picking it. I'm not predicting it. But it's possible. It's football. You get a couple things bounce your way. You stay healthy. You catch teams on the right week. Things can happen, especially in an offseason like this. Am I going to go in with those expectations? No. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I think it could? Yes. It's football. What's going on there, January? Hog it up. That's right, Jay. I'm sorry to hear that, Ryan, man. Sorry to hear that. I hate Dallas more than Philly. There are a bunch at my school, and I live on Long Island. All right, Brian. Mr. Tightwhite says the Giants are well, Mr. Tightwhite, I want to say thank you for popping in. I always love when I'm assuming you're either an Eagle fan, a Cowboy, I don't know what you are. Maybe you're a Jet fan. I always love when opposing fans come in and say, yo, bro, just in case you didn't know, I got to tell you, bro, the New York Giants are trash. Mr. Tightwhite, I appreciate you for letting me know because I didn't know that. I've only been watching this team every week for the last, since the last Super Bowl, since 2012. They've won 12 games over their last 3 years. So thank you for letting me know that the New York Giants are trash. That really cleared my mind because I wasn't sure based off the last 3 years. But we're coming. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Chris, how long did it take for you to say Eli was the next franchise guy? Think about that with DJs. For me to definitively say that DJ was Eli was the franchise guy, it took that Super Bowl. I believed in him in his second year after he came back and beat the Eagles, and I said we got something here. But until when I officially said this is our guy, this is our franchise quarterback, it was when he won that first Super Bowl. Let's see what we got here. I love the job. What's going on there, Everett, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got. Smash that thumbs up. I appreciate it, man. See you entertain. Have a good you too, Chris, man. Thank you for being here, man. Eagles have no offensive. I'm gonna tell you right now. All the Eagles fans in the chat, man. All the Eagles fans in the chat. I hope you've enjoyed your run, and it's been great. You guys won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. You guys might make the playoffs this year. I hope you enjoyed your run because we're coming. You guys got negative $50 million in cap space, and you got nobody that you could cut. You've got an aging football team. You drafted a friggin' backup quarterback in the second round this year. I hope you enjoyed your run. Get used to the back of the bus real soon, guys. Get used to the back of the bus. Let's see what we got here. What year is the next Manning coming out of? I don't know, Eddie. I think it's in I don't know. In a couple of years. In a couple of years. I hope you enjoyed your run. It's coming to a close real soon. I promise you. What's going on there, Henny God, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Thoughts on Rashol Douglas? I'd love to take him from the Eagles. Why not? Teach him our playbook. Do you believe Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in the class of 2019? I think it's too early to say. Way too early to say whether it's Kyler Murray, whether it's Daniel Jones or Drew Lock. I think we need another year, if not two, to evaluate all these players. Do I think he could be? Sure. Do I think he showed a lot of things last year that were encouraging? Yes. But I think it's too early to tell on any of those players. I think you need a couple of years to evaluate. Simon, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it. Eagles are a ticking time bomb, injuries and negative cap, and the blank out of here. Simon, I'm warning him, man. I'm warning. You're gonna have one more year. You'll have one more year. One more year where you have a pretty good team. Don't get used to it. I'm trying to be nice to you guys. We're coming, baby. We're coming. Why haven't we cut the Andre Bay? I would guess it has something to do with salary cap implications, Dom. I would guess it has something to do with salary cap implications. Giants will own the NFC East in this decade. It's time to get back. You're for it. You're preaching to the choir, man. I want to get back to New York Giants football. And I think we're headed there. But it may, I think next year you're going to start to see us getting towards back to that. I don't know if we'll be there yet, but I think we're headed that way. I think we've built this team the right way through the draft, and hopefully we keep bringing in young, talented players and give Daniel Jones the support system he needs to succeed. I think by 2022 we're gonna be a good team for a while. I think we're gonna have a nice 3, 4, 5 year stretch. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I hope you guys are too. Is Andrew Thomas going to be as good as someone like Ronnie Stanley or Tyrone Smith? I can't definitively say that. What I can tell you is he was thought to be one of the best tackle prospects coming out in college in a very long time. He was thought to be the safest tackle prospect in this draft. This was the best tackle draft in a very long time. It was the first time in like 20 years where there were 4 tackles taken in the first 15 picks. He was the first one selected. He was thought to be the safest one, not necessarily the one with the best upside. I think he's going to be at a bare minimum an average left tackle in the NFL, at a bare minimum. And I think he could be, obviously, a Pro Bowler. So we'll see, but I think he's going to be at a bare minimum. He's not going to be a bust. He's not going to – I am willing to say will not be like a flower. So he's going to be a good tackle. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. The NFC is better when all 4 teams have a fighting chance. It leads to better games. I mean, I love better games, Zachary, but I would much rather just play in a division where the Cowboys win 2 games, the Eagles win 2 games, the Redskins win 2 games, and we win all of them. I like domination. Does the Cowboys putting their starting tackle and Sean Lee on IR lose for the Cowboys? Hopefully they get healthy. Don't wish bad. Of course, we don't wish bad on anybody. Sean Lee's hurt every year, so I didn't even know about that, but I'm not surprised. Sean Lee gets hurt every year for the Cowboys. This decade, bro, I have higher expectations. I know we suck right now, but I'm expecting more than a division title this time. Of course, Charles. Oh yeah, I want multiple Super Bowls within the next 10 years. Is it going to happen? I don't know, but it's what I want. What's going on there, Baruch? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Would you care to give a prediction on who will finish where in the NFC East? Joey, to be honest, I mean, I'm being unbiased this year. I'm going in conservative this year. Next year is where I'll be tooting the horn. And I hope that they prove me wrong. I hope the Giants go out there, they surprise a lot of people, and we finish second or better in the division. I'm going to say we finish third. I got us with 6 wins, but I think we have the possibility of winning 8 if things bounce our way. We play a very challenging schedule with all the factors. But I think at the end of the year, like I always say, I think we're going to play some of these teams really tight, and you're going to go into next year very confident. But I got us around 6-10 going into the year. Next year, that's when I start to turn it up. Roldy, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it, man. Roldy's freaking awesome, man. Thank you for popping him in. He says, what's your thoughts on the 53-man roster? I'm shocked to hear they cut Conley. I'm surprised they cut Conley. I don't think shock's the right word for me, Roldy. I'm surprised they cut Conley. And I kind of talked about it in my video today, but they drafted like 6 linebackers. Conley wasn't a judge guy. He had an ACL injury last year. We don't know how he looked coming off the injury. I know that we heard reports that he looked pretty good the last couple of days. You drafted a lot of linebackers that Judge liked. I'm not shocked. If Conley came back and was at full strength and looked the way he did the first 4 games last year, I think he would have made the team. My guess is he didn't look that way. And, this is a game where you need to be healthy. So that's my guess there, and I just hope that we get an opportunity to bring him back on the practice squad. But Rolly, man, thanks for love. And Greg, man, thanks for love. Will we have a top 15 offense this year? To me, that comes down to Mickey, man. I appreciate that, man. To me, that comes down to health. It comes down to health, the offense, and it comes down to the offensive line. But I definitely think we have the talent to be a top 15 offense. I think we have the talent to be a top 12 or 10 offense this year, if the offensive line performs well. But there's no reason to think we can't. Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, and some people say McCaffrey, regardless, no matter what you want to say, he's a top 2 running back in football in terms of talent. Saquon Barkley. We've got an average receiving core, especially when you factor in Evan Ingram, who's one of the biggest mismatches at the tight end position. I see no reason why we can't have at least an average offense if we stay healthy. But it comes down to the offensive line performing better this year. If they don't, well, it's going to be tough, obviously. We have to have a much better offensive line than last year, and it may take a few weeks for them to get things going. But I do think we're going to have a good offense this year, at least over the second half of the season. I do honestly believe that. What do I think about the defense? What did you miss over the weekend, Baruch? I mean, we named our team today. We got a 53-man roster. That's the big news for the New York Giants today. I'll be calling the Met game tomorrow. I know you're a big Met fan. I'll be calling that game tomorrow. Is it a day game tomorrow, by the way, guys? Let me know. But I'm gonna try to call that Met game tomorrow. A lot of you guys have asked me about that. What do I think about the defense, though? As far as the defense goes, I mean, we're young, we're inexperienced. We're playing in a complex system, much like the offensive line. I think it's going to take a few weeks for us to gel to really hit our stride. But we got nice pieces. We've got young guys with upside. They got to learn. They got to get better, and they got to give us hope for the 2021 season. That's what I want out of this year. I like Logan Ryan. I think he was a really good pickup. It makes me feel a lot more confident about our secondary. And a big key to this defense is going to be the edge rushers. I think we know our strength. Our strength is the defensive line. We've got a bunch of dancing bears up at the line. You got Big Sexy Dexy. You got Dalvin Tomlinson. You got Leonard Williams. We've got good guys up at the line of scrimmage. They're going to stuff the run. The edge rushers have to play well. Whether that's Marcus Golden, O'Shane Zimenez, Lorenzo Carter, we've got to get on. We've got to get good years out of those guys. And I don't know if we're gonna, but that's going to be the key to this defense this year. Let's see what we got here. Leonard Williams could say, Leonard Williams could get sacks. I think Leonard Williams. Here's my prediction, guys. I was saying this in my Discord today. Here's my bold prediction, guys. Here is my bold prediction for the New York Giants defense this year. Hear me out. I said this in my videos throughout the offseason. I think the New York Giants are going to have a sack-by-committee approach, much like the New England Patriots, much like the Baltimore Ravens, much like the Buffalo Bills. You go back, look at those teams last year. None of those teams had a player in double-digit sacks. Now, we're not going to be as good as those defenses. We're not going to be close. Buffalo Bills were the best defense in football last year. Patriots, those were the top 3 defenses probably. But I think we're going to have that same mindset. I think the Giants are going to have 7 players with 3.5 sacks or more. But I think we're going to have 0 players with more than 8 sacks. I think we're going to have a bunch of guys in the 4 to 8 sack range. I think Leonard Williams will be included in that. I think we're going to have 7 players with between 4 and 8 sacks. I really do believe that. I really do believe that. Jason, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. Mara's comments continue to drive me nuts. Did he forget that he said Jones was 2 to 3 years away last year since 2012? Listen, Jason, I can't stand when Mara comes out and talks. I can't stand when Mara comes out and talks. Let the guys you hired to do their jobs do their jobs. We don't need you coming out and setting expectations that aren't realistic. We don't need you. Like, we know going into the year, okay, as Giants fans, what your mindset is. You've said it countless times. I don't need you to keep saying it. He said it again the other day. Oh, well, if they're not competing in December, I'm paraphrasing a bit. Heads are going to roll. Gettleman's going to be fired. I don't need you to say it. Stay out of it. You got a brand new coach. He's developing chemistry with the GM. Let them build this team together, and hopefully we go out and surprise people. Mara, be an owner. Own the team. Enjoy it. I don't need your opinion. The best owners in sports don't step in. They let the guys that they hired to do their jobs do their jobs. Don't need to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. What's going on there, Pete? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What's going on, Kenji? Defense has added talent and will be much improved. Kenji, I think we'll be improved, but how improved is the question. Like last year, I think we were like the worst. I think we were the worst defense in football, if not the worst, one of the top bottom 2 or 3. So how improved? But I agree we're going to be improved. I definitely think we're going to be improved, man. The coaching alone, I think, will be improved, and we definitely have more talent. I agree there. And Kenji, man, thank you for being here, by the way. Kenji's friggin' awesome. Always drops really nice comments, long comments, really educated football fan. Glad to see that you're here. Fire the coaching staff and player personnel for the job. Oh, God, here's Mr. Tidy Whitey. It could be worse. Your team could be ran by, yeah. Let's see what we got here. Mara saying he wants wins for his money. What a twist. You're every owner ever. Let the guys do it. Exactly. We know you want to win. You don't need to come out and say it. Just own the team. Enjoy it. Let the guys do the job. Let the guys do the job, and then you make your decision at the end of the year. Let's see what we got here. Chris, did you see, bro? I did not, Simon, but I'm definitely going to have to take a look at that after. Thank you for letting me know. I'm going to watch the 53-man roster now. All right, Baruch, man. Yeah, I'm going to be live probably for another – I'll probably go to like 12:15, 12:20. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. What's going on there, TD? What's going on, Everett? Yeah, Everett, I'm going to be doing a fantasy football segment. I was actually talking to Fisk. Fisk is a huge fantasy guy. We're going to be doing a show, probably alternating channels. I don't know what day, but I'm going to be doing a fantasy football segment where I answer your questions, give you guys my daily fantasy lineup. And I want to do a competition, like I was saying. I think Saturday I'm going to announce, or Sunday rather. Sunday night, no. Got to do that before. I'll do it probably Saturday. One of these days this week, I'm going to announce it. We're going to do a daily fantasy contest. I'm going to try to do that weekly, have fun with you guys, and give away a prize each week. So hopefully we get to do that. What's going on there, MRC? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Haskins is better. Oh, God. Benjamin. I love Sports Expert, but when I saw him say that today on Twitter, I almost exploded, Benjamin. I almost exploded when I saw him say that Dwayne Haskins is better than Daniel Jones. I almost exploded, but I was able to contain myself. Roldy, man, thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. He says, what do you think about the Alabama point guard, Kira Lewis, for the Knicks? I think he would be perfect for us. A lot of people are very high on him. I've seen highlights. I haven't done a ton of research on the draft yet, but I want a point guard, and he's probably going to be the guy that's there when we're picking from everything that I've read. Give him a shot, man. I don't know enough about Kira Lewis. I don't know if he's a great shooter. I want a guy that could shoot. In today's NBA, you need guys that can shoot. The Knicks don't have that right now. Frank Ntilikina can't shoot. Kevin Knox can't shoot. R.J. Barrett doesn't have the best shot. We need guys that can knock down the three ball. I don't know a ton about Kira Lewis. I've seen highlights, like I said. But I want a point guard. I'll tell you that right now. And I want to be able to stretch the floor. So you need spacing for R.J. Barrett to play better. We don't have that right now because we don't have guys that can shoot threes. Let's see what we got here. 1 year coach. Let's see what we got here. Joe Judge has the right mindset for one of the biggest clubs in the sports history. John Mara needs to let Judge develop this team and develop as a coach. I'd give Judge 2 to 3 years and see what happens. 3 years. 3 years, Drayton. You said it right. And not 2 to 3. 3 years. I'm sick of the 2 years. 2 years isn't enough. You brought in a new coach. He's 38 years old. He's establishing his culture. He's starting from scratch. 3 years. Give him a real opportunity. Give him a real opportunity. See it through to 2022. Then we evaluate where we're at. This year, I just want him to get his feet wet. Learn as a coach. We have to have patience as a fan base. If we keep flipping coaches, we're going to be the Jets. You want to be the Jets? I don't want to be the Jets. I'm not trying to offend Jet fans in here. But we got to get back to our ways. We got to be patient. And we got to give Joe Judge a real chance. I'm surprised Washington cut. I'm a little surprised by that as well. Maybe they really like their running back, Antonio Gibson. I think he was a third-round pick this year. Maybe he's performing well at camp. Tana, what's the prize for the members? It's going to be a jersey. At the end of the year, you're going to get a jersey. What about Gettleman? How many more years would you give him? Joey, I'm going to speak realistically because I know how it works. Hey, Chris, you think we're going to bring in a 12? I hope so, Alex. I really do. I think we need a 12 receiver. I've said that countless times. I really do hope so. My timeline on Gettleman is completely different from realistic. I know this, man. I know this is my honest opinion. I've said it countless times. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever. When they didn't fire Gettleman this year, because they had every excuse to do it. Even though I may not have wanted them to do that because he's building his team, and I don't want a guy to come in here and screw all that up. But they had every excuse to fire him, and they didn't. They kept him. They fired Shermer. And the first thing that popped in my head when they brought in a new head coach and they kept Dave Gettleman, I said to myself, they're going to have Gettleman be the fall guy if they don't play well this year. The fan base now is not going to look at Joe Judge. They're not going to look at – they'll look at Jones, but the vengeance will come down on Dave Gettleman. And I really think it was a strategic move by Mara to do that. I think that Gettleman will be the fall guy this year if the team doesn't play well. If the Giants go 4-12, the Giants fan base will go, Gettleman, get him out. Get him out. It's gonna buy Judge a year. He's not gonna have to deal with the vengeance from the fans. Everybody's gonna come down on Dave Gettleman. And I think that's the reason why Mara brought him back. I really do. Do I think Boone will get fired? I don't watch the Yankees. I don't watch the Yankees. But I think he should. He sucks. What games do you think the Giants could steal this year? What games do I think the Giants Nick, I took the wrenches away a while ago. What games do I think the Giants could steal this year? I think the Giants could steal the Bucs game. When you look at it, the Bucs are playing in Vegas the week before. They're traveling to New York. The Giants have an extra 3 days rest. They're playing Thursday night, so I think the Bucs game is a game we could definitely steal, even though I think the Bucs have a good football team, but you're asking me games we could steal, meaning we're a big underdog. If you view the Steelers as us being a big underdog, I think we could definitely steal that opening week. I don't see us beating the Ravens. I don't see us beating the Seahawks in Seattle. A very small chance against the 49ers. I think we have a realistic chance against the Rams in LA. I think we could steal the Cardinal game. It's at home. I think we could steal the Browns game at home. I'm not saying we're going to win all those games, but I think we could. Let's see what we got here. Brandon, man, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate it, man. We're going to close this out in about 15 minutes anyway, but thank you guys for being here, man. Danny, I already did. I got the Giants finish at third. You and the Cowboys at the top. I definitely have the Cowboys winning the division, though. I think the Cowboys are definitely the best team in this division right now. That was an intelligent take on Gettleman. I was wondering why he didn't get canned. Yeah, Charles Barkley, that's just my honest opinion. I could be wrong, but that was what popped in my head. When they didn't can Gettleman, I said to myself, well, Gettleman's going to be the guy that takes the brunt of it this year if the Giants don't play well. What's going on there, Justina? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Chris, should we bring in Sanu? What's going on there, D-Coop? I'm not against bringing in Sanu. I'm really not, but I don't see Sanu wanting to come to the Giants because he's not going to get to play that much here. I really don't think he is. Like, do you honestly think Sanu should start over Sterling Shepard if Shepard's healthy or Golden Tate? I don't. Or Darius Slayton. You want Slayton to develop. So if I'm Sanu, I'm looking around the NFL right now. I'm looking at the Packers. I'm saying to myself, I go to Green Bay. I'm a top 3 receiver on that team. I go to the Jets. I'm their second best receiver behind Crowder. There's a lot of teams he could go to and step right in and have a good role. With the Giants, I don't see it. I don't see him having a big role here. Chris, do we have a chance at having a better record than the Eagles this season? Yes. I'm not going to call for it, though. I'm going to be conservative. I'm not going to call for it, but I could see the Eagles disappointing this year. And, yeah, guys, only 180 thumbs up, guys. Guys, spike that like. I appreciate all you guys for being here. Have over 400 people in here, 180. Let's get those thumbs up, guys. Let's get those thumbs up. And thank you guys for being here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, ring the bell. Yeah, we'll go for about another 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Card Coach, man, thank you for being here, buddy. Let's go, G-Men. You know I'll see you throughout the week, my man. Hey, Chris, you know what would be funny? When the Giants beat the Browns and OBJ starts crying. I bet he's going to be begging the Giants to sign him back. And I would like nothing more than to see Odell Beckham in tears when we beat the Cleveland Browns, week 14 or whatever we play him. That would be, other than, of course, making the playoffs. But that would make my heart very warm. Roldy, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, what part of Long Island do you live in? Shout out to my peeps in Middle Island. I'm Nassau County, Roldy. That's as specific as I get on YouTube, but Nassau County, Rolly. But thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it, man. 8-8, Alex. It's possible, man. It's definitely possible. It could go either way, but I still think the Eagles can win the division. They could. They definitely could. All right. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that the Eagles have going for them, and I say it all the time. In comparison to all the other teams in the division, Giants got a new coach. Cowboys got a new coach. Football team's got a new coach. They have familiarity. In an offseason that was shortened, there's no preseason games. They have familiarity. They got a quarterback that's used to that system. So in that aspect, the Eagles have an advantage. Eagles better get off to a good start. If the Eagles get off to a bad start, they're not winning the division. They got an opportunity to get out to a good start. Tana, good thing Luke didn't hear that. What did I say? Oh, the Browns? We're going to beat the Browns. We're beating OBJ. We're beating OBJ. What's going on with Sam Beal? Sam Beal is Awesome, Baruch, man. Thank you for checking out, my man. What's going on, Big Drake, man? Thanks for popping in, man. Yeah, Beal opted out for because of the COVID. I'm glad to see you in here, Big Drake. Beat the Browns as they are playing well to ruin any excuses they'd come. I want to beat the Browns. I want to beat the Browns at full strength. Oh, I would love to beat the Browns this year, Big Drake. I appreciate that, Baruch, man. Thank you for popping in this. The football team, that's their name. I know it's their temporary name, and maybe next year they'll be the Generals. Maybe next year they'll be the 0-2 against the Giants. I don't know what they'll name their team, but this year they're named the football team. Rudy T, man, thanks so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it, man. Cowboys just signed Brandon Carr. All right, man, Baruch, man, you have a great night, man. Thank you for being here, man. He is ignoring the most interesting. Let's see what we got here. Missed the show, just popping in to show some love. Rudy, man, thank you for being here, man. Thank you so much for being a great supporter. He's ignoring the most interesting part of this stream. I have an LT story. You guys should be pissed at him. I'm sure you guys are so pissed that I'm missing out on Tidy Whitey's LT story. Tidy Whitey, save the LT story because I'll wait. You can come on the stream if you want to tell the LT story because I'm going to have subscribers on Sunday. So you can wait. We'll listen to the LT story. Let's see what we got here. The 0-2, yeah, the 0-2 against the Giants. Maybe that's what they'll name their team. Tana, about your county. What? Let's see what we got here. Yo, Brandon Carr. Yeah. So Brandon Carr, of course, gave up the touchdown to Odell Beckham. You know, the one-handed catch down the sideline. I wouldn't have been opposed. I said it numerous times. I wouldn't have been opposed to bringing in Brandon Carr for the New York Giants just because we're so desperate. But Brandon Carr for a win-now football team like the Dallas Cowboys, that secondary is going to get picked on a little bit this year. Yeah, that was their weakness to begin with. They cut HaHa Clinton Dix. I think you're going to be able to throw on the Cowboys this year, no doubt about it. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Joey says, I'm sorry, man. I want Odell to play great this year because I want to see Gettleman look at that and go, I may have been wrong. Oh, no, I can't be like that. No. I know a lot of people are Odell Beckham fans. I can't be like that. I can't be like that. What's going on there, Mexican Giant, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got here. Good luck in that game, Chris. My Browns versus your... Oh, I'm looking forward to it, Eric. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's the game I'm looking forward to most outside of course, the divisional games. The Cowboys, the Eagles, the Skins, everything else. I got to go, Chris. Hope you have a great night's sleep, and I'll catch you tomorrow for the Mets. You got it. Yeah, I'll definitely be live for the Mets game. Omkar, man, thank you for being here, buddy. Hope you're doing well, my man. The Washington Bums. Yeah, that's quite fitting as well. The 8 days till Giants. Guys, we're almost there. We're almost there. And I'm going to tell you what, man, if we win that game, it's going to feel real good going into week 2 against the Chicago Bears. I just hope we finally get off on the right foot. For once, we're at home and we're not playing the Dallas Cowboys opening week. And we've got at least somewhat winnable game. So hopefully we go out there, we get a win Monday night, and we start this year off on the right foot. What's going on there, Jared Williams, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. All right, Nick, man. Thank you for being here, buddy. Mara needs to be more like his. Yeah, John. Listen. I'm not a fan of the way he's been operating the last 5 years or so, but I don't know. Carl Hargrove says the Washington the WTFs. Think the Giants secondary is better than you think. I hope. I mean, I think the Giants secondary could be good. I do. I think it could be good, but I think they have question marks. They've got proven players. James Bradbury is a very good corner. Darnay Holmes could be very good. Logan Ryan is very good. So it could be a good secondary. We'll see. Ramon, man, thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. He says, I feel like we're short on talent at the wide receiver position, and I feel like we're winning games more because of the loaded coaching staff. Listen, I just want to win games. I don't care the reasoning why. But, yeah, I think we need a number 1 wide receiver. I definitely do. People have talked about that. Amani Tuber talked about that. We don't have a number 1 threat right now. We have a lot of good receivers. We don't have a great one. Ingram, I think, is a potentially great tight end if he can stay on the field. And Barkley's obviously a great running back. But, no, we don't have a number 1, at least not yet. Maybe Darius Slayton evolves into that. But, yeah, if we're going to win games this year, I think the coaching staff's going to have a lot to do with it. There's no doubt about it because we're hoping that the coaching staff last year was that much worse than this one. and they could flip the team. So, listen, I like a lot of the guys that they brought in terms of the coaching staff, and hopefully it works out, man. That's all I can say going into the year. I want to go in optimistically. I want to go in with hope, at least going into the year, because I don't see any point in going in pessimistically and saying this team's going to suck. There's no need to watch. No, there's a reason to watch. You want to see this team evolve. You want to see this team get better. I just try to be cautiously optimistic and tell everybody don't go in with crazy expectations. But I do think we're going to be a better football team this year. And Roldy, man, thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. He says, love my Giants, and OBJ is my dog. And he's definitely going to light up our secondary. Shout out to OBJ. Stop hating on my dude. Roldy, man, listen. As long as you love your team, I love my team. We just got different, like I said, you're not always going to agree with me. I'm not always going to agree with you, but our heart's always in the right place. We both love the New York Giants. And I'm not going to lie to you, Roldy. And listen, I loved OBJ when he was wearing giant blue. I don't want him to make a single catch. I want him to leave the field with 0 catch. No, 1 catch, -1 yards, 1 fumble. That's what I want from OBJ when we play the Browns. I want him shut out. Shut out. That's what I want. But, listen, people love OBJ. That's great. That's their guy. Not going to tell you how to root for your team. I want the Giants to shut his ass out. I want James Bradbury to clamp OBJ down. That's what I want. Have a great night, Joey, man. Thank you for being here, buddy. Stand up. What's going on, Kuzan? Thanks for popping the stream, man. And I'm out. Have a good you too, Fabi, man. Thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I see you tomorrow for the Mets stream. This stream's getting bigger. I thought it'd be dying by now. It's 12:09. We're getting more people in here. You guys are ridiculous. Thank you, everybody, for being here, man. I really do appreciate it. I like the Giants for a W Monday night. Gino, man, you and me both, man. Let's get that W. I like it. I don't know what I'm gonna do in my preview video because you guys will kill me if I pick the Steelers week 1. But I do think it's gonna be a close game. I think it'll be within 3 points, 4 points either way. I think we're gonna have a really fun, exciting football game on Monday night. I really do. Let's see what we got here. I loved OBJ, but when he left and tanked and talked bad upon the team and what they did for him, I turned on. I hear you, man. When Roldy asked you earlier what part of Long Island, Nick commented that luckily KP wasn't in here when you said it because he yeah. Oh, that's true. He does. What's going on there, Mike? Bradbury gonna bring the hand. I hope so. Lock him down, my man. Lock him down, my man. Saeed, man, thanks so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I was shocked with the 5 wide receivers as well. 1 New York Giant, man. I still think it's going to be 6. I still think they could go out there and bring in somebody. I've talked about Butler. There's a lot of guys. We'll see, man. What's going on, Patrick Torres? Saeed says, how to shut OBJ down? Let him tear his – well, I don't root for injuries. I'm not rooting for that, Saeed. I'm not doing all that. I just want to lock him down. One thing I have not done enough throughout this stream, guys, you guys are incredible. You guys are absolutely incredible. I like to say thank you every time I go live to show my appreciation. I got to do it more in my videos at the beginning. Thank you guys for everything that you do for my channel. I try to say it as much as I possibly can. I was so excited to go live. I hadn't been live in like 5 days to talk about the Giants. I was out tonight doing my fantasy draft at my friend's house, and I said, you know what? It was roster day. I don't care. 10:35, 10:40, I'm going to go live. I'm going to talk with the boys and the girls. But thank you guys for all the love you always show my channel. You guys always blow up my streams. You guys always drop nice comments. You guys always watch my videos. Can't say thank you enough for all the inspiration that you guys give me. So thank you guys for being the best community on YouTube. Best community on YouTube. And Prince, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate that, man. $5 donation, man. Great supporter of mine. Always comments on my videos as well, man. Thank you so much for love. I will find Tane and burn that. What are you talking about, man? Simon Z, man, thanks for love. He says, Bradbury going to lock the blank out of OBJ, just like he did in Carolina, and OBJ is going to start crying on live TV. Going to be laughing my ass off this time, though, instead. Simon, I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so, man. You're the best, Chris. I'm blue blood all the way. Let's go, Giants. That's right, my man. No, Kuzan, man, thank you. What's going on here? We're going to blow teams off their ass if they think let me see what he said. If they think they're gonna, that's right, Prince. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna knock some heads this year. I like the confidence, guys. I want to get some positive vibes because I know sometimes I can be perceived as negative because I try to be realistic. But I want to get some. Listen, man. At the end of the day, and I was saying this with Bobby when he came. I think I said it with Bobby. I said it with somebody when they come on the channel. I try to be as objective as I can. I try to be as unbiased as I can. But when it's Sunday, guys, or Monday, week 1, I'm a fan. I believe we can win every single game. I don't know if I'm going to pick. I'm not going to pick us in every game. But when the whistle blows, I think we can win. If we do the things we need to do to win games, I always believe that we could win. And I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. I get excited every year. I cannot wait. Rob, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. Bad record Monday night. We're due for a win. We're due for a lot of wins, Rob. I don't know if you've been watching this team over the last 3 years. We're due for a lot of wins. But yes, in particular, Monday night. Roldy, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. He says, how did Bradbury do against OBJ in 2018? Not great. Not great. Not great, but hopefully he does much better this time around. Roldy. I cut the Giants talk with food talk. You need commercials. That's right. Just came in the chat. What do you think of the O-line? Should we pick up a wide receiver, and should we pick up Adrian Peterson? What's going on there, Sidon Smith? Thanks for popping in the stream. The O-line, it's what we got. It's the exact 9 guys that I thought we were going to have. Well, maybe one guy didn't think, but I thought we'd go at 9. We got what we got. We're not bringing anybody else. And I think they'll get better over the course of the season. But I think you'll struggle a little bit early. In terms of the rest of the roster, I think we could definitely bring in a wide receiver for sure. I've been talking about it throughout the stream. And I forgot your other question. Maybe a cornerback. I think a cornerback or a wide receiver, if they're going to bring somebody in, I think that's what you're looking at. Prince, man, thanks for love. They're in practice screaming wartime. I believe. That's right. That's right. Listen, man, one thing I love about this team right now, and, I feel like there's almost like and it's what I love as a Giants fan going into the year. But this year I really feel it, man. With Joe Judge as the head coach, I feel it's like an us against the world mentality. The media comes out as soon as he takes the job. Oh, he's got tennis balls on the hand. Oh, he's making the players run laps. It's over. They're never going to play for this guy. As soon as he took the job, he's got doubters. I like this, man. You see the team circling around him. It's got this us against the world mentality, and I like to see the team coming together. I can't wait for Giants football, man. I really can't. What's going on there, Nick the Wick, man? Thank you for the cannoli. The Giants, yeah. Foles is so bad he can't beat out. Oh, I was shocked at that. I thought for sure Foles was going to be the starting quarterback. Depressed Steelers fan says, why are you depressed for? We didn't beat you yet. We're going to beat you in 8 days. Why are you depressed for, my man? We're going to beat you in 8 days. Don't save the depression. Save the depression for Monday night. But no, all kidding aside, I agree. If you guys stop Barkley, you'll win the football game. There's no doubt about it. Let's see. Players always looking at, the players are bought in, man. Let's see what we got here. Joe Judge is either going to be really good or Jim. Well, hopefully he's really good. And and there's no reason to go into the year thinking he can't be really good. We got to give him a real chance, man. All right, Chris, I'm out, man. Benjamin, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to close this out in 5 minutes. But again, thank you to everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Chris, I'm a big Giants fan here from Brazil. Love your content. Let's go, Big Blue. I appreciate that, Raphael, man. Thank you so much for love. Depressed, man. I'm really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to the game, to be honest with you. We don't play you guys a lot. We play each other once every 4 years. Two of the greatest franchises in the history of the sport. I mean, you're talking about two of the top 5-6 franchises in NFL history going at it. The last time we're going to see Big Ben unless we meet in the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to it, man. We don't get to play you guys often. I've always had a lot of respect for the Steelers organization. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Guys, let's just wish for the best. Exactly, Bob. And go in there. Let's wish for the best. Exactly, man. I feel Joe Judge has the perfect mindset for this team. I agree. I think it's a young football team. I think that they're going to buy in, man. Let's see what we got here. Please talk about BLM. Football needs to be canceled until all. I'm not going to talk about that, Bob, the Cowboys fan. I'm not going to talk about that, but I appreciate you for popping in. And yeah, can we get rid of that, please? All the I mean, you're allowed to have your opinions. I'm gonna block that myself. I don't need to see that on my channel. I don't need to see that on my channel. Chris, you got any more fans in Arkansas? Are you my only fan in Arkansas, Corey? That's awesome. A Giants fan from Arkansas. I appreciate you for popping in, my man. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Chris, I've been a Giants fan since I was 4. Now I'm 21, and I believe the Giants will put up a fight this year. Let's go, Giants. I love it, Angel. I love it, Angel. But, guys, it is 12-17. I said I was going to go to 12-15. I just want to, again, say thank you. I wanted to pop on for a little bit tonight, hang out with you guys, talk about the roster. We're a week out, guys. I'm going to be live all week, throughout the week. I don't know what days, but you'll see me. I'll be making a ton of videos, game previews. I'm sure there's going to be storylines throughout the week, trash talk. I'm going to be doing picks against the spread. I'm going to be doing probably power rankings for the week. I'm going to be live at least 3 or 4 times this week. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a very eventful week as we get ready for the New York Giants. I'll be streaming the game on Sunday between the football team and the Eagles. I may do opening night. I haven't decided yet. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. You guys are the best supporters on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great night. And I hope you guys are as jacked up as I am for Monday Night Football. Let's go, Big Blue. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great night, guys.